What is going on, snipers? Naeem Al-Obeidi here. I hope all of you guys are having a wonderful day today. Let's go ahead and dive right into our daily live stream every single night. If you guys are watching this video after it's already published, I do apologize. It is a long video. We do a video in the daytime, so just go to our video playlist and you can probably see a smaller version of this video, or feel free to use the 1.5x speed. That's probably the best thing to do because we're going to go through a lot of information. It is going to be an interactive live stream as well, so just keep that in mind, guys. I know I get a lot of comments saying, oh, you're just talking about people's names and stuff. The point of this is to have a live stream. It's not to necessarily have a video. So hopefully you guys can come in on this live one day. We're going to be referring a lot to our Discord. If you guys don't know, if you guys are new to cryptocurrency, this is probably your best bet at really getting educated. The link is in the description below. It's a free open resource that we've developed. The coolest thing about it, I'll just show you one aspect of it. You can go to Trading 101 and literally just look at all of these definitions of a market order, stop order, limit order, all of these different patterns that actually indicate breakouts, positive or negative, so you know where price movements are headed, as long as you have a basic chart like TradingView, which is also in the description below all of my videos. So we're going to be referring a lot to this, and we're also going to be referring a lot to our Patreons, because we're going to be doing a Patreon-only Night Owl tonight. Our Patreon link is in the description below. We do have several different tiers there where you guys can start receiving training alerts. You guys can receive portfolio reviews and stuff like that straight from me and my team. So pretty much so far what we're going to talk about today is going to specifically base upon the top coins that we're looking at today. We see a lot of movers. If we go pull up CoinMarketCap, you can go to coinmarketcap.com. You can actually see that we're having a pretty stout day today in the market. A lot of coins are moving upward. We're seeing a lot of prices fluctuate. You can see Ripple is on its way up at 13.67%. Bitcoin at $15,000 right now, heading towards the big even of 20,000, heading towards that break point, guys. That's really where we're going to see a lot of things change. And I'm really expecting and looking forward for Bitcoin to start heading towards 20,000 because it's been quite a while since we've gotten to that point. Ethereum at $755, just killing it as well, along with these other coins. Bitcoin Cash is a little bit down right now. Hasn't been doing too good over the past couple of days since we saw it get on Coinbase. It's just been kind of mediocre since. Litecoin doing very well here, maintaining over $250, which is stout, knowing that it was around $95, $80, $60 for a very long time a couple weeks ago. Cardano making a big move at 12% for the day at 43 cents a guys. That is awesome for Cardano. Good for Cardano. A lot of other big movers today include Stellar, XLM. I know some of you guys are holding Stellar. I know Yessie is holding Stellar, one of our patrons, and that's at 24 cents. Neo breaking out into the $60 mark, $66.86. The other biggest movers I've seen, BitConnect, obviously, BCC, whatever they're doing with their holdings. Tron was a huge move. Verge was a huge move. If you guys know, I actually just put in a position for Verge, and I'll talk about a lot of that today. Raiblocks, 41%. What a stout increase in price, guys. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these coins. We're going to be doing some technical analysis today. I am going to be showing you guys a little bit of some advanced techniques that I use. I'm not going to get into too much depth because most of us are new here, of course. But if we look at Ripple's chart here, you can see that we did break these resistance levels that we were actually talking about the other day at around $1.18 here, $1.19. We broke these resistance levels, and I told you guys that once these resistance levels were actually broken, that we could definitely see price movement heading upwards. Over here you see a very beautiful, let's see here, is this going to count as a cup and handle? I would say no, that wouldn't be a cup and handle. It's just not as significant price movement. However, obviously you do have a channel moving upwards here. You have some resistance levels continuously increasing here. Currently our resistance is looking at $1.40, even though I know most markets right now are over $1.50, which is a stout number for Ripple, knowing that it was around 25 cents just a month ago. So if you see this chart here in my past trading, I would say that we're definitely seeing this positive channel form. Doesn't look like there's anything holding it back. Let's pull up some indicators here because it's kind of a naked chart. I don't like naked charts. Who here likes naked charts? Say I in the chat. So let's do some RSI. I actually have some favorites here. We'll do RSI. We'll do volume. We'll do the moving average. No, we'll do yeah, we'll do that. That's fine. The exponential moving average, and then we'll also do MACD. So I haven't really talked much about MACD. So we'll pull that up here as well, and maybe you guys can learn a little bit of something today. And actually what we'll do is instead of, well, we'll keep the RSI open as well. So in terms of the EMA is one of my favorite indicators. That's why I'm starting to actually implement this a lot more. We are bouncing right off of this EMA. However, for me, I would want to see a little bit more of some stability with staying on top of the EMA, because so far we did still go under while we were making those price movements upwards. I like to watch the EMA to make sure that we're completely over the EMA, because the EMA is a good way to really understand, is this price going up or down? If it's under the EMA, then it's most likely going to head downwards. If it's on the EMA, then you just need to wait for the chart to mature to see whether or not that's going to break out or not. So let's go ahead and see who's on our live stream now that we've kind of dropped a little bit of nuggets here and there. Let's go ahead and see who we've got here. Good to have you guys on our live stream. We've got Crypto Fipi, Moscow Mule, Omar Mas. Good to have you guys. Don, Jokerism, Wolfgang, Shah, Stuart. What's up, Stuart? What's up, JFP Miami, Mark Dachau, Asan, Bacardi Man, Andrew. Good to have you guys. Good to have all of you guys. JFP Miami said hello. Alex Constantine, he said $2 here, brother. Hey yo. Good to have you, Alex. Thank you so much for the super chat donation. That means a lot. If you guys do want to submit requests, feel free to use super chat. And I'm not just saying that because, okay, obviously there's a donation involved, but it's going to be hard to take these requests, guys. YouTube has been just overwhelming. The comments, the chats have just been crazy. So it's either you're going to have to do it through super chat, or if you're on our Discord, maybe you'll get lucky and we can choose you, especially if we're looking at the Patreon. So it's all about getting yourself separated from everybody else. That's really the key to this. So let's go ahead and just kind of, what's up, Adam Bristow? Good to have you, brother. Boston. Alex said cheers from Boston. Awesome. So let's pull up these charts here once again. I do want to kind of go through some more charts here. We are going to be opening up our Discord. If you guys are not on our Discord, the link is in the description below. We will be taking some requests from here as well. So I'm going to actually open this channel up right now so that you guys can get on here and start submitting your requests. So we're going to enable your messages to be sent. So that's opened up. So now you guys can post your requests. And that's going to be opened up to everyone. And then we'll also edit this here and then turn that on for you guys. So now you guys can actually go on Discord, send your questions. I'll periodically go back and forth on Discord as well as YouTube. YouTube will be through Super Chat. That's the best way to get your question in. But we do have a couple coins that we need to look at before we get into anything. This will most likely answer a lot of your questions and actually cover the coins that you guys want to cover. So I'm going to take a little bit of a different approach this time. I know you guys love the interaction and stuff, and I do too. However, you know, we want to get to the details here. What's up, Grant Redamar? Good to have you. Ed Money said Ripple Nation. Andre Ganilo. I like that last name, man. Sounds like a famous sports player. So let's go ahead and pull up a couple coins here. XVG USD. What's going on with... Actually, you know what? We'll start doing Satoshi charts. Now that you guys are a little bit more advanced, I think that's fine. So let's look at the Satoshi chart here for XVG BTC, because Satoshi charts, in my opinion, are the best charts to look at, because you're looking at whether or not you're losing against Bitcoin. So if you're making money in US dollars, that's cool and all, but for the most part, you should be going against Bitcoin, seeing if you're going to be profiting over Bitcoin, seeing if you were to trade this, are you going to make more money in Bitcoin rather than making money in fiat currency? Because if you're not, then you might as well just hold Bitcoin and stop trading, because your value is going to continuously go down even though you think it's going up based on your fiat currency. So the cool thing about Verge, what I'm liking about it, is the fact that we're popping off on this EMA. We haven't seen that for a while. We saw a little bit here, but this was just a small bounce. We immediately went back into it, and this was all within the negative channel. What I'm liking about this the most is the fact that we're outside of this negative channel. RSI is still pretty low. We're at around 58 RSI, so it doesn't look overbought just yet. I have a feeling that this is going to break out soon. I did place a buy order today. If you guys are a Patreon, you guys know that I did announce that on our Discord, which is the temporary area for those announcements. Soon we're going to be separating that for everybody that actually has the tiers, and that will be coming in the first week of January. So what we're seeing with this right now, in my opinion, is a potential breakout. I don't see too much resistance levels that were built on this little downtrend, and with that, in my opinion, when there's no resistance levels, all hell can go loose, and we can see this coin starting to increase in price, guys. So that's pretty much what I'm looking at with Verge. If it does drop, I think we'll find support around 700 Satoshis, right around here, because this was previous support levels. In my opinion, I don't think that will happen, and if it does, that's completely fine as well, because I have my stop losses set up if it goes back into this negative channel. And that's why I like to buy at that specific area, by the way, because once it breaks out of this channel, I can always set up my stop losses down here, and I'm minimum losing 5%, if anything, if this price starts to decline. So at this point, it's not. RSI is looking good, MACD is looking good, these have not crossed, EMA is looking great, we're right on top of the EMA. Shout out to Angel C, just became a Patreon. Shout out to Angel C. Thank you, Angel. I'd love to, can't wait to meet you. And that's pretty much what I'm looking at for Verge. So let's go ahead and look at another one. I want to kind of quickly go through these because there are some big movers here. ADA BTC. Let's go ahead and pull up Cardano BTC, see what's popping here with Cardano, and see what's going on. So with Cardano, what we're looking at here, okay, you do see some patterns forming here. Initially a descending triangle. Now we're seeing it bounce off of its support level, which is good. So we bounced off of 2,600 Satoshis. Looks like we're coming back up on top. It looks like we are seeing some positive price movements. We're still within this channel that was formed right over here, which can be overextended. If you guys want me to clear these prices, I can go ahead and do that just to make these a little bit, this graph a little bit easier for you guys to use and see and understand. And I do apologize if this is a little bit advanced. What I'm actually going to do is remove these indicators as well. I don't want to have all of these indicators open. I do know there's a lot of newer people here, and I do want to keep this as simple as possible so that you guys can understand what these indicators are. If you guys don't understand them, then you're more than welcome to join our Discord and ask around. A lot of our members there will be more than happy to help you guys. You guys have been an awesome community. They're engaging and consistently helping out the community. A lot of people's lives have changed because of our Discord, which, and not just our Discord, but I think it's the community members, not necessarily the platform. So let's pull up volume here. We'll look at the RSI as well. I think that's definitely something I would want to keep here. Right here we've got the moving average exponential, which I'm actually going to go ahead and transition back into the chart itself. So let's go ahead and add that there. Okay, perfect. So now we've got this chart popped up here. Go ahead and remove this, pop this one open. My computer lags just a little bit while we're doing these live streams, so just bear with me. Okay, let's do remove indicators. And now let me go ahead and, man, I barely can use this. Alright, we'll do relative strength index. We'll do moving average exponential, or EMA, which stands for exponential moving average. And then we'll also do the MACD. Shout out to David Jiong, just became a Patreon. Thank you, David. Shout out to Michael as well. I'll see you guys tonight in our Patreon only live stream, our Night Owl, I'm sorry. So what are we seeing here, guys? It looks like we're seeing some sort of pattern form, but in reality we're still following this channel. You know, we do have some strong support here for ADA Cardano at around 2,557 Satoshis, which is a good indication that you can certainly watch this. I did make a purchase of ADA. I think I don't think I announced that one, but if you are a Patreon, sooner or later, starting in the first week of January, you guys are going to get all of those announcements. But the reason I made my trade is because we were hitting support levels. I'd like to see coins go down there. This was going to be more of a swing trade for me, but it may become a long-term hold depending on what happens. My current price point to sell is actually going to be right here at the resistance, so I was actually planning to sell around 3,145 Satoshis. A lot of you guys don't plan to sell, and I think that's something that a lot of you guys can use some help with. If you guys are trading, always set up your plan and your initiative prior to trading. So when you're on CoinMarketCap, guys, and you're looking at these coins and you're trying to determine which coins you want to invest in, have a set plan of action. For the people that I mentor certain, specific group of people outside of Patreon, outside of Discord. I always tell them 3 things that you want to have before making any sort of trade. Number 1, what is your buy-in price? Number 2, what price are you going to sell at to take profit? And number 3, what is the max amount of losses that you're willing to take, so you know where to set up your stop losses. So if you guys are taking notes, write that down on a piece of paper right now. That should help out a little bit. And yeah, so with ADA, what I'm seeing here, obviously we've got the support, we've got this resistance. What I like to do with a chart like this, I like to watch its EMA to see, all right, is this continuing to go up? The reason I made my buy orders, like I saw this initial breakout here, went over the EMA, started bouncing, went under, bounced again, and you really want to make sure this is a lot higher than EMA. If it's kind of overlapping and on top of it, that's not necessarily the best indicator. You really want to see some clear indication that it is over the EMA, kind of like this right here, where you saw it really just jump up way over the EMA and then continue to rise upwards. And as soon as this would have pointed that way, I would have known, all right, there's a reversal most likely to come. RSI was over 70, so that is an indicator that this is overbought as well anyways. So that could have been a perfect indication that this price was going a certain way. And then it ended up forming a head and shoulders. So if you guys see here, perfect opportunity to teach you guys a head and shoulders. You got the left shoulder, you got a right shoulder here, you've got the head on the top, and then you've got this neckline equal to the left and the right shoulder. If you don't know what that is, then the Discord is in the description below. This is a free, guys, this is a free resource. It's free. You don't have to pay. It's free. It's free. It's in the description below, guys. You can go to Trading 101 here and move upwards, and you guys can actually look at how the head and shoulders pattern forms out and what it indicates. So if you guys look at this right here, head and shoulders indicates a breakout and trend reversal downwards, because this is pretty much the top. Somebody asked me a good question today. His name was I don't know if he wants to be Jason, you know, I mean, that's a general name. I had a community member of ours named Jason come to me, and he asked me a question. He said, how do these patterns indicate price movement? Like, how do you know, because it's forming a double top, because it's forming a bearish symmetric triangle, because it's forming a flat continuation, that it's gonna do this exact pattern and break out at this exact level? And I was like, dude, simple. It's all based upon supply and demand. And it's just like how your company that you work for, right? If you're working in the hospitality industry, if you work in retail, if you work in any company, if you're in the medical industry, if you're in the pharmaceutical industry, if you're in the marketing industry, if you're in sales, then you guys know that you can project numbers, right? You can project, okay, October of next year, I project to be at this amount of revenue. And it's the same thing here. There's predictions that could be made based on past history. So what are the predictions here? It's the supply and demand. So we're saying that, okay, based on supply, when supply is looking like this, which is an example, X pattern, when supply is looking like this, typically this is what ends up happening to demand, or vice versa. When the demand is making the price, because these candlesticks that you guys see, these charts are all based upon supply and demand. The price is based upon supply and demand. So based on this chart, based on the supply or based on the demand, in the past, this is what has occurred because of that prediction. So that's how these patterns are formed, guys. This is a tried and true principle that is just foundational for trading. And these are just 10 basic patterns. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of patterns, hundreds of definitions, and that's why we have a website coming soon. And we'll definitely announce when that's out. But this is a free resource that's open, guys. The link is in the description below. Somebody said, what else do we need to know before we trade? Good question. So before anybody, if you guys are new to trading, here's what I can recommend. This is the #1 aspect of trading that helps an individual make educated decisions. And if you were in part of our Night Owl the other night, where we had Yessie and the Night Owl, you remember this conversation we had with each other. There was a lady named Yessie that was there. She's a patron of ours. Thank you, Yessie, if you're watching this. But she talked about, you know, you could really tell the way she spoke that she really focused everything on researching a company or researching a coin. And I know her portfolio is up right now because XLM is up. And I'm not saying that's the reason XLM is up. It's because she did research and that's why it's up. But the fact of the matter is, you have to know what you're investing in. You have to understand what you're investing in. And before you can understand Ripple, before you can understand Litecoin, before you can understand IOTA, before you can understand Cardano, all these coins that you guys are like, oh man, I'm going all in on this, dude. It's a niche banking industry, done deal. Well, guess what? Do you even know what Bitcoin is? Do you understand the technology behind Bitcoin? Do you understand the distributed ledger? Do you understand the trading? You know what? Watch this. I'm going to show you guys something really quick here. I don't usually do this, but check this out here. Let me show you guys something special. You see this right here, guys? This right here was the first book I read about Bitcoin. I got into Bitcoin in 2010. And the reason I got into it is because I had a YouTube channel. I was a Machinima gaming partner. I was making videos for Machinima. And at one point, I needed to start accepting payments, right? Well, guess what? I was banned from PayPal. So what was I supposed to do? I went on Google and I said, okay, where could I accept payments, alternate payment methods? And I just so happened to come across this thing called Bitcoin. And at the time, it was frustrating for me. I was like, why do I have to do this? Why do I have to like get into this? Why do I have to, you know, it was just, I was like, this is such a hassle. But I bought my first Bitcoins. I mean, I bought hundreds of Bitcoins at the time. They were fairly cheap and under $100. And I would trade them like it was nothing. I would accept them, you know, I would teach other people how to use them too, because that's how they had to pay me. So I was in it, I've used it, and then 2014 I got serious. That's really where things changed for me. I had gotten into trading a while ago. I'd understand, like I had a lot of experience in traditional markets and Forex. And I mean, some people have had more experience, but I had just enough experience that I know, okay, I can make money in this industry. I can make money because I learned how to do it. At first, I lost a lot of money, obviously. Started with $100, had nothing else to my name, and I built upon that. And my best investments in traditional stocks were the investments that I actually understood. You know, I remember doing really well with investments like GoPro, or I remember I did some good, I had some really good returns from Fitbit. I remember having good returns from, you know, Tesla when it was around $212. Anybody here that does traditional stocks remember when Tesla was stuck at 212? Well, look at it now. If you would have bought back then, you would have still been pretty good. So, anyways, educate yourself. How do you educate yourself? This right here. This is the first book I would recommend anybody. It's called The Internet of Money by Andreas Ortopalalas. I don't know how to say his last name. This was the first book I read. It taught me the distributed ledger. It taught me what decentralization really means. Not just saying, okay, well, you just have all of these different nodes spread across the world and every single person mines and you've got these single mining nodes. No, there's an actual concept behind decentralization. There's actual use cases that can be implemented in traditional markets today, like the healthcare industry, like real estate. There's so much more to just Bitcoin. And when you understand that, and you look at a white paper, you're like, bam, that would do so much because I read that in a book. That makes so much sense. Let me invest in that. And that's what I saw in Yessie, and I give her props for being that type of investor. And I see that in a lot of the students that are in our community, the Discord community. And I'm a student as well. We're all students. We're all learning off of each other. Now, if you're a little bit more advanced, I'd recommend this. It's by the same author. It's a little bit of a bigger book. Going through it again. By the way, all of this is on our Discord. If you guys go to our Discord, the link is in the description. You guys can go to Helpful Reason. You can see all of my favorite books. I even have this one. This is one of my favorites by Brian Patrick Iha. And this one is more of a thriller as you get into it. But my point is, know what you're investing in, guys. Don't just be blind to it. There are a lot of resources out there. On our Discord, we also have this resources tab, guys. Use this. You guys probably don't even use this. Like, you guys can actually go in here, open up Crypto Calendar, and see all of the upcoming crypto events that will influence the price of crypto. If you're not willing to do the work, then get out of the market. You're not going to make money. You're going to lose money. That's why you make money, then you lose it. That was my biggest frustration in traditional stocks. I would make money and lose it. Who here wants to make $1,000 and then lose it the next day? Nobody. You want to make $1,000, keep the $1,000, and then make another $1,000. That's the true trader, by the way. And maybe you're not a trader. Maybe you don't like trading. Guess what? There's something called value investing. And in my opinion, if you're new to trading, that's the best thing you can do. Shout out to Dimitri Lupalin for becoming a new Patreon. Shout out to Shang for becoming a new Patreon. Thank you, man. Shout out to Albo. It says Albo. Thank you, brother. Big shout out to Mr. Ganchola Kyle. Thank you, Kyle. That means a lot, brother. We really do appreciate that here at Snipers Tube. We actually just got this new mic because of our Patreons, so we have a ton of new equipment coming in the mail. This is our new mic. It's the blue mic, and we have a lot more equipment on the way here, so we're really going to enhance these live streams for you guys over the next couple of days. 2018, the first week of January, a lot of new things are about to happen. This is going to change everything about the education you guys are receiving here about these coins. We're going to make sure, I listen, if I were to give you guys my word right now, that's all I got. My mentor taught me, he said, Naeem, all you've got is your word. If you give somebody your word, and I'm gonna make this a little bit because I want to get a little serious here. So shout out to Michael Taylor becoming a new Patreon. Guys, 2018. I know we're heading into the new year. I might need to get a little serious here. 2018 is going to be a big year for Snipers Tube, guys. Truly, we are going to impact the cryptocurrency market. Things that you've never even thought of are going to be implemented into our community. We're going to be enhancing a lot of things on the Discord. We're going to be implementing new role systems. We're going to be implementing new bots. We're going to be creating bots. We're also going to expand our team. We have a mod team. We have an admin team. All of that is going to be expanded, and you guys are going to have the opportunity to become a part of that. Not only that, there are a lot of extremely skilled traders in our Patreon. We're going to distinguish them upon all the other members so that you guys know who to go to ask specific questions for. Not only that, coming into 2018, our website's going to start, right? So our website's going to be this resource that all of you guys can get into and start understanding the true basics of cryptocurrency, but there's also going to be an intermediate and an advanced course where we're going to go into more indicators, how to utilize the MACD with the RSI, using the EMA to also determine what the Fibonacci retracement in the future is going to be. Do you guys know how to do that? No. Well, we're going to teach you guys that for free. That's the point of this community, is to provide an area, guys. This isn't a place to just get, okay, this is the next big coin. And by the way, we got to stop doing that in the chat. No more pumping. I mean, we don't need that. That's not what this community is about. If you guys need a separate area for that, we'll create it. You guys can go in your own corner. We'll isolate you guys. But the fact of the matter is, this is a place to add value to others, guys. And I'm so passionate about this mission. And each and every one of you guys that are on this journey with us, you guys are going to benefit from this. I mean, we've had an enormous amount of growth on this YouTube channel, and people are like, man, I can't believe it. And I'm like, I can, because guess what? It was expected. And it wasn't expected out of me. It was expected out of our team. We have a very strong, unified team that run this this whole program, guys. So, not to get too serious, but I'm just excited for 2018. Are you guys excited? Who here is excited for 2018? Let's see what the chat says. Grant said, Naeem. Jessica Kotzer, good to have you. Steve Stewart said, me. Lift Heavy said, what up, Naeem? Good to have you guys. Yo, Ali said, hi. Okay, awesome, guys. So, the chat's a little bit delayed. You know, it's going to get a lot better with the interaction once I get this new computer. But so this is one way that you guys can actually get into the market, understand what's coming up. So it's a crypto calendar. I highly recommend this. If you guys are wondering why Tron is up right now, well, guess what? Look at Tron. Tron is 13.9% up. Well, guess what? Something came out about Tron that indicated that something was going to be released today. Look, today is December 29th. Well, guess what? We released our source code on December 29th named Exodus. I don't know what that is. I didn't look into that, but guess what? That could have influenced the price of Tron, because look, Tron's up. So if you would have known that because you were up to date, you were doing your research, then you would have been more competent in the trades that you were making. So not to get too into that, guys, you know, hopefully that helped out. Shout out to David Swanson, became a new Patreon. Shout out to Jahanzeb Haku. Hopefully I said that right. If I didn't, I do apologize. Shout out to Jason Lim as well, becoming new patrons, guys. So let's take some requests. What coins do you guys want to look at? we got a super chat donation from Jokerism. He said, yo, what's up, Sniper? What's up, Jokerism? I know you've been with us for quite a while now. I do appreciate that, man, especially for you long-timers that have been around, you know, since we've had back in the day, like, you know, when we had 100 subscribers, you know, back in, like, you know, November. But with all seriousness, thank you guys for being just amazing supporters of what we're putting together here. It really, truly means a lot. And we couldn't have done this without you. So let's take these requests, guys. Somebody said XRP. Somebody said ADA. XVG. Wow, we did a lot of these already. LTC, Litecoin. Oh, there's a new one. BTC. We'll look at Bitcoin for sure before the end of this live stream. Somebody said XVG. XVG. A lot of people are saying XVG. I did put my position in XVG, which is what I'm excited about. And I'll talk a little bit more about that tonight in the Patreon-only Night Owl, which I know we got a ton of new Patreons just from this couple of hours, so I can't wait to see you guys tonight at the Night Owl. Make sure you have your Discord downloaded and set up so you guys can actually have access to that. Somebody said, look at all the coins on this live stream. That would be a little tough to do on the live stream. I do apologize. But maybe we can do that one day, right? We'll do all coins at once. And hopefully next time, right? Okay, what we'll do then, we'll go ahead and look at Bitcoin really quick, since we haven't had the chance to do so. Once we look at Bitcoin, we can start going into more of the, you know, alternative coins past the top 10, and then we'll just kind of move forward from there. So let's take the let's take this request here from Jokerism. He said do for the win, FTW. So we'll go ahead and look at FTW here. FTW USD or BTC or none. Okay, no big deal. Well, we already did XVG, so I guess we fulfilled that request. And then we'll do BTC now. So let's pull up Bitcoin chart here, guys. We'll do the Bitcoin to US dollar chart. From now on, and if I forget to do this, start reminding me to start doing Satoshis on the live stream, because I typically do US dollars just to keep it more streamlined. But now I'm you know, I'm just gonna do Satoshis because that's what I trade with. Interesting chart, guys. So a lot of you guys are worried about Bitcoin. You know, the funniest messages I get are the messages where people are like, dude, is it dropping? Is this another correction? Are we going to see another correction? Dude, relax. Why would you say we're going to see another correction? Nothing crazy has been going on. I mean, previous resistance is now becoming support level. I mean, what's wrong with that? That's beautiful to know. Matter of fact, we almost formed a triple bottom here. If you guys know what a triple bottom looks like, let me actually show you exactly how that looks like. If you guys go to our Discord, this is a free and open resource. Open for all of you guys. And if you guys go up here, you go to triple bottom. I'll show you guys exactly how it looks. And it's a sign of a reversal. So a downtrend, you hit first bottom shoots up to second bottom. It's on the here's the key to a triple bottom. You're looking for a neckline. It's not on this graph here, but that blue line is a neckline. So you're looking for that neckline, and that indicates that it's almost like a resistance level, right? So it hits the bottom, hits the resistance, hits the bottom, hits the resistance, hits the bottom, hits the resistance, and then it breaks out of that. That's a triple bottom. It's a sign of a reversal. This is a tried and true principle. Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and see if we hit triple bottom here. I would say not necessarily. We almost hit it. It just isn't. I mean, you could argue that we did, because there is, let me see here. Let's draw some lines. That's what lines are for, to be accurate. Yeah, we did hit a triple bottom. Yeah, we did. Look at that. It was right around $14,417. So that's a triple bottom right there, guys. It doesn't really matter that this didn't go as long as these did, because at the end of the day, these candlesticks can stretch too. That's why you see these little extra, like the candlesticks have the solid part to it, and then they have the line. So it does stretch, because that's the price movements that were also incorporated into that time frame. But the majority of it is where you see that solid bold line. So in terms of Bitcoin, there's not much to say other than the fact that we saw a triple bottom hit. That is an indicator that there is going to be a reversal. And with that being said, It's been doing very well in my opinion. It's maintaining these super high price levels at $15,000. It's just bouncing back and forth. If you were looking for a good time to buy Bitcoin, I would have just stuck through to this support level. We had this drawn out yesterday, so you guys already knew about this. For those of you that are in the community, staying true to the community, watching these live streams, watching and staying up to date in our Discord, you guys know that you guys are always up to date with these live streams, guys. This is where you get the big mamma gem, and then you have the night owl for extra. So, you know, I give you guys a lot of opportunities. At least I give you guys as much as possible to make sure that you guys have the opportunity to get your questions and your requests in, and then you have the community to ask upon themselves as well. So yeah, I think with Bitcoin, we are going to be seeing price movements heading upwards. I'm still pretty bullish on it. I think that at the end of the day, we hit a really healthy correction, and it was like the perfect correction. It was the best correction that could have ever happened. And just to touch a little bit on SegWit2x, if you guys want a quick update on that, I know you guys have asked me a ton about SegWit2x. Pretty much that was all a hoax. That's not necessarily the real SegWit2x. I didn't know that. I was wondering what people were talking about. I just don't care too much about forks because they don't really do much, in my opinion. But SegWit2x was meant to double the block size from where it's at right now to 2 megabytes, right? So instead of having a 1 megabyte block size, you'd have a 2 megabyte block size, which is double. That's why it was called SegWit2x. The 2x is what that stands for. But this new SegWit2x, I think it puts it at like 4, which is a quadruple what it is now. And like, there's just a lot of aspects to it that weren't the original, you know, it wasn't the original SegWit2x, you know, the one that was actually created in the New York group that created it, where they took all of the leaders, because you have to have consensus, which means you have to have over 80% of the miners transition their hash power to that forked coin. Like, there's a lot more to it, and we'll get into more depth, but just understand the fork isn't going to do anything, in my opinion. Once again, all of this is my opinion. Don't just take this as trading advice. Once again, this is just an opinion from a fellow trader like you. So, wow, we're getting a ton of Patreons, guys. Shout out to, this is awesome, guys. I can't wait to meet all of you tonight. We're going to be doing a Patreon-only Night Owl tonight. Shout out to Jason Lim. Shout out to Kerwin Ramos. Shout out to Edward Ma. Shout out to Tyan Shu. Shout out to E.T. Shout out to Francisco Hearn. Shout out to Bayan Hollis. And then shout out to Troy Smothers. Thank you, guys. Really. I mean, that's how we got this new mic, by the way. Which, really excited about getting all the new equipment, guys. This is going to be insane. You guys are gonna, it's going to blow your mind. You guys are going to log into these live streams. You're going to be sitting there like this. Hopefully nobody screenshotted that. Okay, guys, let's get real here. This is more of a comedy show today. I know we got a super chat donation from G90. Thank you so much, G90. I know you've been with us for a very long time. No question either. So thank you, man. That's just from the heart. That means a lot, man. I'll take some YouTube questions. Let's go see. Dima Lupulin said, I just applied to be a patron. Thank you, man. He said applied, as if it's like a job. Rick Viper Moto, 2 household names will be announced soon. Interesting. Andrew Carroll said Ripple at $10. Well, that's going to be fun. Karen Dorino said Ripple will be $4 confirmed China. I don't get it, but I hope that's a good thing, right? Steve Stewart said something special. Awesome. I like where this is going. That's good. Okay, I'm reading some past chats here. So let's look at some other requests, guys. Let's go ahead and pop out our Discord here. If you guys are not on our Discord, the link is in the description below. This is a free and open resource. Let's go to requests. On the bottom here, you guys can actually click this button here. It's requests, and you guys can request your coins, and then we can start doing these on the live stream. I'm going to take some popular coins here. We looked at XRP, OCD, and Hugh Honey, so why don't we look at something new? Ramos said Verge. We looked at Verge. Steve probably said Komodo. I actually had a stake in Komodo, so I don't mind looking at Komodo. Let's pull up Komodo here, KMD BTC, and see what we're seeing here. Komodo actually just had a very successful, I think it was a partnership with an Ethereum company or something like that, but they did something really cool. I think they accepted a payment. I mean, basically something happened where they proved that the technology worked, which I like seeing that with ICOs, because the biggest thing with ICOs is this going to have a use case? Now, what's interesting about this chart here, you do see there's a decline in trend here. There's a descending trend because the support level continues to descend. Doesn't look like there's clear support, but if I were to draw a support line, I would say it's around 54,000 Satoshis, and that would be right around here. Once again, it looks like we do have some resistance here, some minor resistance here around 64,000 Satoshis. Once again, if you guys don't know what Satoshis are, we do have a very easy guide on our Discord. I don't think that's maybe there right now. But pretty much Satoshis, if you guys look at this right-hand side of this chart, you see where it says 0.0000000. Well, you can basically just look at those decimal spots. You can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if you were to have a 1 on that 8th decimal, then that's 1 Satoshi, and then so forth. So right now, if you look at it, we're at 64,000 Satoshis. It's basically like breaking up Bitcoin into cents. That's the best way to put it. So shout out to some new Patreons, guys. Wow, I'm overwhelmed with this amount of support, guys. This is awesome. Kerwin, shout out to Kerwin. Shout out to Michael Frank. Thank you, Michael. I look forward to meeting you tonight, Mr. Frank. Shout out to Caruso. Shout out to Wing FN1. Shout out to Yuzman. And then shout out to Alex Milardo. Thank you so much, guys. Can't wait to continue to produce amazing content for this channel along with our other content creators that are coming on board. If you guys do contribute these graphs on our Discord, you guys also will have the ability to gain an analyst role. So I'll show you right here how an analyst role looks. If you look on the right hand side here, you guys can actually pop this up, and then you see we've got analyst right here, the Reverend of Crypto. Because he was able to post so many charts in our chat, we decided to award him with that. And then we also have a lot of different roles here that we're going to definitely continue to improve and engage on over time. So I know we got a super chat donation here. Equal Volques, thank you so much for the donation, brother. He says Dragon Chain, the Disney coin or Dimcoin, please. I live across of Disney World, guys, and I keep hearing about this Disney coin. So what we're going to do is look at it for just a second here. Let's go ahead and pull up this Disney coin. Hopefully it is a Disney coin. And what I mean by that, hopefully it's not a joke. Hopefully it's not a Mickey Mouse coin. But let's go ahead and look at the Disney coin, right? What is it called? DMD? Diamond? What was it? You should have, I'm sorry. Dimcoin. Let's go ahead and look at Dimcoin. Maybe that's the name of it. Dimcoin. Now, typically these coins have low market caps, right? Okay, this I can't even look at. It doesn't even have a market cap unless it's loading. Nope, no market cap. I won't look at a coin without a market cap. That's very important. And if it has a small market cap, somebody asked me a question. This might help some of you guys. What happens if... what happens if the market cap is low, Naeem? And I'm like, well, that's a very good question, son. If the market cap is low, it makes that coin or whatever asset, right? Because this isn't just cryptocurrency. We're talking gold, silver, traditional stocks, all these commodities. So what happens when the market cap is low? Well, guess what? The coin is vulnerable to price manipulation. Oh, well, that won't ever happen, Naeem. That's never going to happen. Yeah, well, give me a break, because guess what? There are people out there with a lot of money. If you guys don't know, this year alone, we've had the most amount of multimillionaires created in the United States of America. And primarily, the majority have come from real estate. Well, guess what? In my humble but accurate opinion, I believe that cryptocurrency and blockchain technology will overtake real estate and create wealth amongst the individuals that have never even had the opportunity to have the ability to have wealth. And what I mean by that is the individuals that are going to be in South Africa mining electronium on their smartphones, individuals that would never have had the opportunity to even be participating in the financial market, let alone have financial services, are going to have the opportunity to do so because of blockchain. And then most importantly, just like real estate is limited. My uncle did very well in real estate, and he told me the #1 rule in real estate is don't sell. Why don't you sell? Because the land is limited, but the demand is always increasing because the population continues to increase. Therefore, the price will always go up. Well, guess what? We've now, for the first time in history, have created an opportunity and a way to have limited real estate in a digital form. What do I mean by that? Well, guess what? Bitcoin's only going to have 21 million coins. There's a lot of them that have been lost. There's a lot of them that are in the junkyards and hard drives that are just missing. There's a lot of coins that are just not here anymore, burned. Maybe some are lost. Maybe paper wallets that are just gone because of the California fires. By the way, if you're in California, hope you're doing well. I do send my blessings to you guys. I know there's a huge fire there, one of the largest in history. But at the end of the day, guys, this is virtual real estate. In order for you to have a Bitcoin, you have something right now that nobody else can create more than 21 million of. Therefore, only 21 million will be created. So just a little food for thought. Hopefully that helps out just a bit here. And I do want to give a couple shout outs here to Danny Robinson for becoming a new Patreon. Danny, thank you so much. And then shout out to Ismael Perez. So somebody said, what are you doing for the Patreon Night Owls? So tonight, if you guys want to tune in after the live stream, we do a little private gathering, a little private session, just a little mingle, a little one-on-one, 2-on-2, 5-on-5, whatever it is. You know, we have a ton of Patreons now, but we're going to get together on a voice chat. If you guys don't want to talk, you can just listen in on the knowledge. You can just gain perspective. You can just gain wisdom. And we're just going to talk. I'm going to answer questions one-on-one. Yesterday we had an awesome night owl. If you guys weren't there, we had a really good night owl. I think it really built our team up, built some perseverance in each and every one of you guys to realize that not everybody in the community is going to be there for the right intentions. If you guys weren't in last night's night owl, it was dramatic. If you guys were there, post in the comments how dramatic that was, right? Post some emojis about it. But it was dramatic. It was awesome. So tonight's going to be even more dramatic because it's only going to be Patreon. So it's going to be a special group of you guys. If you guys aren't Patreons, the link is in the description below. You're more than welcome to contribute. We actually just got a new mic. We're upgrading all of our equipment. You're not going to see the Hunter background anymore. And you're going to have a green screen here. Everything's going to be just out of this world. We're going to be multi-streaming different platforms and so forth. But anyways, our Discord link is in the description below. By the way, this is a free resource. There's a lot of new people, so just give me a sec to describe this. This is pretty much a free resource that we've developed here, the team at Snipers Tube, to allow all traders to go in here and chat and talk about Bitcoin, any coin you guys want. It's a value-driven community, not based upon pump and dumps, not based upon things that don't matter, not based upon all this crap that you see out there, referral links, affiliate links, YouTubers that just create an account to show you how much money they're making in some Ponzi. Sorry. Anyways, that's the truth. So you guys can go to Trading 101. You guys can teach yourselves all of these charts. By the way, if you don't understand patterns, you don't understand charts, every advanced trader will blow your money out of your pocket and steal your money. Guess why? Because they have experience and you don't, and the experience will always overtake the non-experience. That's something my mentor taught me. He said, Naeem, if you have experience in something, and the way to gain experiment is to experiment. To gain experience, you have to experiment. That's what he taught me. So how do you experiment? You put a small amount, in my opinion, if you're new to trading, take 10% of your savings, 1 to 10%, depending on how much you have. And this isn't financial advice. This is what I did when I started trading. Well, actually, I only had $100 to my name when I started traditional trading. When I started crypto trading, that's a different story. When I started traditional trading, which is where I gained my knowledge, I started with $100. I didn't have more money than that. I was working 9 to 5. You know, I know some of you guys have families, you guys have kids, you guys have husbands and wives that you have to take care of. Yeah, that's cool and all. Well, guess what? Real estate has created the most amount of multimillionaires, and guess what's coming next? Cryptocurrency. You want to be a part of the wave. This is your opportunity to do so. You guys don't have to be stuck. Like, seriously, guys. Like, I got to get real again. How about that? I take my glasses off when I got to get real, right? Guys, the most amount of multimillionaires are going to come out of cryptocurrency. That's my humble but accurate opinion. And the reason I say that is it's going to change everything. Guess what? You want to have a use case here? Check this out. Car titles, house titles on the blockchain. What happens when the house or the car title is on the blockchain? Now you can evenly distribute it amongst your peers. You can walk into a Lamborghini dealership now, right? This is, I'm thinking 10 years from now. Walk into a Lamborghini dealership with 10 of your friends and say, hey, we're all going to buy that car. And instead of going through this extenuous process to get that, you just click a couple buttons, sign a couple contracts, and literally, just like you buy a fraction of a Bitcoin, you can buy a fraction of that car. And now you and your friends can enjoy this nice Lamborghini, right? So that's just one use case. Or think about real estate, land. Now, instead of selling the whole land to one person, you can start selling portions of it. You can fractionalize it. Guys, if you don't understand blockchain, these are the two books. If you're starting off, The Internet of Money. If you're advanced, Mastering Bitcoin. The best books about blockchain. That's my recommended list for anybody getting into cryptocurrency. Whether you're trading altcoins or Bitcoin, you have to understand Bitcoin first before you understand Cardano, IOTA, Litecoin, Ethereum. How are you going to understand smart contracts when you don't understand distributed ledgers, right? How do you get these books? Guys, somebody said, how do you get these books? You go to Helpful Reads on our Discord. This is a free resource that we have for you guys. The link is in the description below. There's a mobile version. There's a web version. What else do you want? You want a paper version? You want a Kindle version? You want, you know, like hold your hands version? No, you just got to get up and do your thing. So Trading 101, you guys can teach yourself these basic charts. These are all basic charts. The live stream you're watching now is where we get a little bit more technical. That's where I add, okay, let's talk about EMA. Let's talk about MACD. Let's talk about these things that we don't talk about in the basic level. Let's talk about in a little bit more advanced level for free. So Helpful Reads as well. All the books are here. There's other books, not just those. If you guys want to look at how money got free, this was one of my favorite books. It's more of a dramatic book because it talks about the history, the past, what it turned into, and where the future is headed. So it's pretty cool. It's not as technical as like this book right here that goes into distributed ledgers, blockchain, and so forth. So all of that is open for you guys. Anyways, we're going to have a Night Owl tonight exclusive to our Patreon. So if you're a Patreon, we're going to be doing this Night Owl at the Patreon Voice 2 chat here. That only Patreons can access, and you guys can ask me questions after this is over. So let's take some requests here. So we do have some requests popping up here. Let's go ahead and pull up the request tab. If you also want to request, there's a tab here. This is an all-in-one, guys. All-in-one. This is an all-in-one, baby. Somebody said, Crypto Nix, how do Patreons join the Night Owl? All you got to do is just join the Patreon chat here. Let's look at these. LTC. Kyle said LTC. Let's look at LTC. And the reason I pick LTC is it's pretty popular, so I'm sure that, you know, it's something that you guys can all benefit off of. And my goal is always to benefit the most amount of traders, investors, and beginners here. So let's pull up Litecoin. We're going to be looking at the Satoshi value, guys. If you don't understand what Satoshi value is, maybe we can put this up. Satoshi value. Maybe this will help out. So the Satoshi value is pretty much I call it the cents of Bitcoin, right? So one Satoshi is 8 decimal places to the right. One Satoshi. It's like the cents. It's where you break down, and it's called fractionalizing. That's what's interesting about blockchain, guys. That's why it's going to revolutionize the world, because of fractionalization. If you understood that, you read a book. If you don't understand that, you haven't read a book, and you probably should before investing in this technology. I highly recommend it, guys. Any trader will tell you that. So let's pull up this chart here and see what we're messing around with here with Litecoin. By the way, you guys enjoying this? You guys having fun? Say yes on the live stream if you are. There you go. Somebody said yes. 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 Awesome, guys. I like seeing the yeses. Great. Somebody said no. Well, I'm sorry you're not enjoying it, brother. Let's look at Litecoin here. Let me just pull up this pattern here really quick, just to ensure that I have this set up correctly. 1 second. Let me pull this up. Okay. I'm going to be changing a little bit of these indicators here for you guys, just to get a little bit more advanced here. I know we have some super chat donations as well, so we'll get to that in just a second. Thank you guys so much for that, by the way. You guys know that means a lot here, and it really helps out. We're going to be investing a lot. We just actually, we're talking to a web designer right now as well, so we're going to have that website set up for you guys soon. We're trying to get the nicest website out possible, something that's easy for you guys to be able to just access on your phone while you're at work, when you're having dinner with your family, when you're out with your wife or your husband, and so forth. So, beautiful chart here with Litecoin. So I like this type of chart because prices are low. I actually just bought Litecoin recently, And I know the Discord, I know you guys are like, what the heck, he's not notifying us. I'm going to get that to you guys soon. The Discord rewards will, I'm sorry, the Patreon rewards will start on January, the first week of January. So don't worry about that. Trust me, it's going to come out to you guys. There's always opportunities. I'm always making different trades. But yes, I did make a trade in Litecoin. It's hard for me to update you guys with every trade. I just did the ones I'm more optimistic about, like XVG was today. It hit a level that I was extremely comfortable with investing in. But with that aside, we're looking at Litecoin here. We're seeing that there's some support levels that are being built here. And what's interesting about this is I've told you guys this time and time again that I like to buy at a breakout, but that doesn't mean I like to buy at high prices. I like to buy at low prices while there's a breakout. Why do I like to do that? Because it's called confirmation, number one. Number two, in my opinion, it's almost a lot easier to determine price movement. So you can see there's some clear resistance here with Litecoin at around, it looks like that is what, 1,745,000 satoshis. So right around 1.7 million satoshis, you're seeing this resistance. And what's interesting about this, I'm sorry, was that 1 million? Let me see, 17469. Yeah, that was a million. So 1.7 million satoshis, we're seeing resistance, and we saw some support at around 1.67 million satoshis. And what I like about this chart right now is the fact that prices are low, number one, and number two, we can easily determine where the breakout's going to occur. I personally was comfortable with just buying at the support level, and you guys should be too as well. In my opinion here, if you look at the actual technicals of this, the RSI is still very low. It's under 60, right around 50. Not only that, what you're seeing here is the EMA is still being played around with. I would wait until the EMA is crossed for you guys to invest in this. If you guys don't know what EMA is, it stands for exponential moving average. It's this blue line right over here that determines what the moving average is exponentially. Now, what's interesting about this is you can easily tell when prices are going up by determining whether or not the candlesticks are bouncing off of the EMA. If it bounces off of the EMA, that's a clear indicator that that EMA is showing signs of a price increase, an ascending pattern. Right now, we're overlapping the EMA, so there's three ways for it to really work. Actually, there's four. I just don't want to get too technical, but the three that I'm going to talk to you guys about is it's either under the EMA, overlapping the EMA, or bouncing off of the EMA. Now, the fourth one is it's over the EMA, but it's not bouncing off of the EMA, and that's not a clear indicator of a breakout. So for those of you that have watched our live streams a little bit longer, that's a little bit of a nugget there that can help you out just a little bit. So shout out to our new Patreons, guys. Wow, this is just awesome. Thank you, guys. Shout out to Danny Robinson. Shout out to Ishmael Perez. Shout out to Jokerism once again. I know you did the super chat as well. Shout out to Damian Johnston, Yuhan Hatchaveria. Shout out to Yuham once again. Damian Lussie. Thank you, Lussie. Thank you, Eric Aragulea. Did I say that right? I hope it did. Shout out to Benson D. Nayajen. Shout out to Zach Kamelak. And then shout out to Aviram Beaton. I have a friend named Aviram. He actually goes by Avi. That's what we call him. Pretty sure it's the same for you too, right? Avi. So that's pretty much the technicals here for Litecoin, guys. I think it's a solid buy at this point. Being the fact that if we even look at this coin market cap price here, we're heading towards a $600 billion market again, guys, which is interesting. Especially with all of the green that we're seeing here in the market. Let's go ahead and pull up coinmarketcap.com here just to ensure that we can have a clear visual of this. And as you can see here, it looks like on CoinMarketCap we are looking at around okay, so we're number 5. Wow, that's not good, but we're still at 0.84. so this is one of the coins that hasn't broke out yet, so that's a good thing. In my opinion, that is a sign of, you know, a good buy. I think a lot of the press has kind of veered away from Litecoin recently. I think a lot of the news has veered away. What I personally do when I set up these type of buy orders under the right on top of the support line, I like to set up my stop loss based on my prices, not percentage. So I would probably set up my stop loss right around 1.64 million satoshis, because the support level is at 1.66 million satoshis. So that would probably be the best way to trade this, in my opinion. That's how I'm playing this move. And I'll keep you guys updated on that one. So let's take some more requests, guys. Let's not stick on Litecoin. Let's look at some other coins here. If you guys want to request a coin, we have a free resource that's not only a place for you to request coins, but you actually can educate yourself on Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies. I think we hit over 8,000 members, guys, on Discord. So a round of applause to all of you guys. Seriously, that is awesome, guys. We're at over 8,000 members. That's astounding to me personally. And we're going to have a night owl tonight as well. So stay tuned for that. That will be a Patreon-only night owl. So let's go ahead and just pop this up here. Pretty much what we're looking at based on our requests here. I see a lot of NXT. I see a lot of POE. I see a lot of IOTA, Shift, Dent, Burst, XEP, EXP. Nasty Nick 99 said, is IOTA good? Matt 187 said XRP, please name. We did XRP, Matt. That was the first coin we did. Just rewind the video, brother. Sorry. TRX, we can't pull that up on TradingView. Thank you, Alex Melado, for providing that link. Matt, all right. Yes. Damaniani said, yes, day trading versus holding. Well, there's three types of traders. There's a value investor that invests in the long term, looks at the technology, looks at the team. There's a day trader that trades consecutively within the day. You can have 20, 30, 40, 50 trades a day. You're looking at price movements. You're looking at swings in the price. There's also swing traders. Swing traders, they trade between 2 days and several weeks. So they'll look at a price. They'll say, okay, this is looking pretty good. Let me trade this over the next couple of days. So those are the three types of traders. And when you determine which type of trader you are, now you have to go ahead and implement a plan of action on what type of trades you're going to make and what coins you're going to trade. So once you determine, okay, I'm a swing trader, well, that's great. So let's look at a coin like Litecoin. Litecoin was hovering around support levels. Well, that might be a good coin to hold over the next couple of days because we can possibly see price movement going up. And if it goes down, you can set up your stop loss right there around, what was it, 1.64 million Satoshis. You would have been good to go. So that's kind of like the divider between whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. So what we're going to do, guys, we're going to take a couple more requests, and then we're going to head straight to our Patreon-only Night Owl. The Night Owl is where we kind of mingle, we talk, and we answer questions one-on-one. It's going to be the admin team and I on voice chat. If you don't have a mic or you don't want to talk, that's completely fine. You guys can just listen in on the knowledge, gain the wealth, gain the health, in my opinion, because it's all about health, wealth, love, happiness, and so forth. So let's go ahead and take a couple more requests here, guys, before we head over to that Patreon-only Night Owl. And then shout out to our new patrons, by the way. Shout out to, it looks like we got Sunny Makigiani. Shout out to Sunny. Shout out to Ernesto Alvarez. And then shout out to Harrison Zia. Thank you guys so much for the support. You guys are providing the opportunity for us to have a lot of new equipment and improve the Sniper Soup community to bring you guys the education you guys deserve. Shout out to Neil James Garuseta as well. Thank you, Neil. Long name, dude. I like it. We do have a couple super chats, so let's go ahead and cover those really quick. Thank you, Claudie Dahmen. I know you've been with us for quite a while. You've seen us in our highs and our lows, brother. So thank you so much, brother. That really means a lot. Thank you for building such an amazing community. I'd value your thoughts on Vertcoin, VTC. So we can look at Vertcoin really quick here. No big deal. We did get a long time community member here. So let's look at VTC, right? Is that what it is? VTC. Perfect. Vertcoin. And we'll look at the Satoshi value of Vertcoin. Let's go ahead and pull that up here. Beautiful, beautiful chart. So we are seeing a little bit of a downtrend. Nothing to be worried about because we are forming some support levels. That's good. Looks like we do have some support here, which looks like was never previous support, but we did have this huge downtrend. Oh, there you go. Look at that. Wow. Something that can help you guys. Sometimes you might want to go to the one-day chart. If you see this type of volatility, volatility is always something that you guys want to be careful about because you never know where prices can start moving when you see a lot of volatility. So the one thing I could recommend is when you do see volatility, be sure to set up your trades in the correct manner. How do you set up your trades in the correct manner? Well, this is how I would do it. I would ensure that I'm watching all of this different support and resistance levels that could even be possible for that specific coin. So to give you guys a really good example of that, when you're looking at this chart here, you're pretty much seeing that we are building some support. And then I'm going to zoom out to this 1 day. And what we're going to do in this 1 day chart is we're going to determine whether or not, let's go ahead and pull this up here. Sorry, this is getting a little bit laggy, and that's something that we're definitely going to improve on over the next couple of days once we get our new equipment all set up, which thanks to the Patreons, you guys. So look at that, guys. That's exactly why I did this. Look at that. Woo-hoo! I'm about to put a trade in Vertcoin. I am going to trade Vertcoin, actually, 100%. I love these types of patterns, guys. These patterns are what make my day. I love these type of patterns because it's so, guess what the word is? It's so, guess what the word is? Predictable. Predictable, guys. You're looking for predictable patterns and trades. You're looking for something that you can look back on and say, okay, that happened before. It's probably going to happen again. What are we seeing here? A predictable pattern. Look at this. You see support here. Clear support levels. 48,000 Satoshis. You see minor resistance levels. 59,000 Satoshis. Well, guess what? If it breaks out of this, what usually happens? What typically happens? What has happened in the past that might happen again? There's a breakout, and the breakout typically goes up to around 79,000 Satoshis, and at one point it went to 90,000 Satoshis. What I would do is I would draw, when you see a lot of volatility, draw all these lines out. Draw all these support and resistance levels. Why? So you can trace it, you can track it, you can analyze it. This isn't a game, guys. This is money. This is your money on the line. Shout out to Brandon Duckworth. Thank you so much, Mr. Duckworth. Shout out to Krista Zupkoff. I hope I said that right, Mrs. Or Mr. Zupkoff. Matt Mitchell sent me a message. So no shout out to Matt. I'm just kidding. I think he was previous. Shout out to Jonah, just becoming a new Patreon. Thank you so much, Jonah. And then shout out to Dank Stink. That's a nice name. I wouldn't want to be born with that one. I'm sure that's not your real name. And if it is, great name. So the reason we're just seeing a lot of Patreons, guys, is because you guys are awesome. And I want to thank all of you guys, each and every one of you guys, for taking the initiative to be able to, be a big part of this community. We have a big vision for Snipers Tube. And once again, I can't wait to meet all of you guys in our exclusive Patreon-only Night Owl tonight. That is going to be on our Discord. If you're not there, that's completely fine. We do our normal Night Owls as well, except they're not as dramatic, in my opinion. They're not as in-depth. They're not as uncensored, uncut, because there are some legalities. But because I can trust my Patreons, I know at the end of the day, you guys have my back and I have your back. So we're going to make sure we delve right into what we need to talk about. That's going to be in our Patreon chat here. All of our admin team will be there as well. So it's not just me that's behind this crazy community that you guys are seeing that's growing like crazy. This is all because of Alan, Sparks, Brendan, Caesar, Jacob, Michael, Jason, Lando, Scott. Scott's a big part of this. So that's what I have to say. Let's take some... What are we doing? So we're looking at Vertcoin here. I'm teaching you guys something really cool here about volatility. When you see a lot of volatility, guess what? There was one reason I left traditional stocks and got into crypto. And I'll tell you what that one reason is. You want to know what that one reason is? Volatility. I left the stock market because there was extreme volatility in cryptocurrency. And as a day/swing trader, parentheses value investor, I was ecstatic to get into this market because with volatility comes profits. If you do it right, if you're experienced, if you're trained, if you're prepared, if you're not going in blind, if you guys are actually part of a community that can support you, that can inform you, that can alert you when things need to be alerted about, when things are coming up, like when the new Segwit 2x fork was found to be a different fork from the original fork, or when John McAfee's Twitter was hacked a couple days ago. All of that would have been provided to you immediately rather than you having to seek for it. You just found it and it would just come to you. How do you do that? Well, there's a Discord link in the description. That's where everything starts. Everything apart from that, the Patreon only Night Owl, that is more of a you know, that's more of an extra. That's more of, if you want to have that other, that little frosting on the cake, you want to have extra whipped cream on top, that's what that is. So anyways, let's get into this, guys. I do want to give a couple shout outs here. Hey, Krista said, we love hearing from you. Thank you. Shout out to Joey Hua. I don't think Krista said. I think that's what the oh no, that's what Patreon said. Sorry. I hope you would have said that. And then shout out to our newest Patreon here, Joey Hua. Thank you so much, brother. So let's go ahead and pull this up here. Let's look at what we're seeing here, what's happening here with this chart. What is going to occur here? Why is it looking the way that it's looking? And we'll go ahead and cover that here. So let's go back to the 1 hour. So when we're looking at this volatility, just to complete this, let me go ahead and turn on some indicators. What we're going to look at right now is something that we don't pull up quite often, and that's called the EMA. And if you guys don't know what EMA is, it stands for the exponential moving average. It's kind of like my focus for this week. If you guys don't know, every week I try to focus on a new indicator to teach you guys. So this week is an EMA. And the reason I like to do that is it allows me to repeat. What's the #1 way to learn something? It's called repetition, right? My mentor taught me this. He said, Naeem, you want to get good at something? It's called the 10,000 hour rule. Do something for 10,000 hours, and there's no way that you're not going to be good at that specific subject or that specific area or whatever you're looking at. So that's the same thing with this rule, guys. It's called the $10,000 or 10,000 hour rule. So just make sure that you're continuously improving yourself by experiencing different things. And here's the #1 way to speed up that process. You learn from other people's experiences. It doesn't have to always be your experience. You can learn from somebody else. So let's go ahead and just kind of fulfill this chart here and then move on to the next request. So we're seeing this 1 hour chart. Obviously, we're right at this support level here. We are kind of trailing a little bit under it. I would be cautious and weary of that. Just know that if you do see this happen, it can happen quite often. What you want to do is draw another support level under that, because the initial support level that we drew out was the 1 day support level. This is a whole different support level. This is a 1 hour support level. So you want to be cautious and aware of that, because once you're aware of that, you know where to trade this. So what type of pattern is forming here? Let's see here. It looks like it's maturing. It doesn't look to be a clear pattern just yet, but I would say it's a good buy. I think it's low in price. I think that it's bouncing off previous support levels. You pretty much have this whole area here to make profits, because it's been there before, been there, done that, right? Doesn't harm it to go back there again. It's all within the same channel. We're back in this channel anyways. So with a coin like Vertcoin, I can definitely see this as a buy. Matter of fact, I'm going to buy some of this. So I'm going to put this on my to-do list here. And that's kind of why I like to do these live streams too, because I get to find these coins as I'm taking requests and stuff. Just a little side note if you guys want to know what I enjoy about this. But that's not the one reason, but I'm just kidding. You know, sometimes I don't even get to buy them because we're so overwhelmed with the night owl. We just go on and on and on. Shout out to Jonah. I think we gave a shout out to Jonah. Shout out to Joey Hua. Thank you so much. New Patreon guys. Shout out to Jazzy Gill. Big shout out to Jazzy. Thank you so much, Jazzy. Tachi Karadia. Shout out to Tachi Karadia. And then David. Shout out to David. Look forward to meeting each and every one of you guys at the Night Owl tonight, guys. It's going to be awesome. Make sure you're on there. You're plugged in. You guys are ready to enjoy the Night Owl tonight. So let's look at some other requests here. I know we had a couple super chats here. So you guys can also post your requests on our Discord. If you're not on Discord, the link is in the description below. It's a free and open resource. But hopefully that helped you out, Claudie. Thank you for mentioning that. Good to have you back on, brother. I know you've been with us. Been with us, man. Thick and thin. So, Simply Dusty. Oh, man, we got a ton of super chats. Okay, let's go through this. So, after the super chats, unless they don't end, then I guess we'll just keep taking super chat requests. Which $10 to $15 coins have potential to hit $200 to $300? Good question, Simply Dusty. The one thing I don't like about that question is you're asking for a specific price point. I'm not going to give you that because nobody can determine price point. If somebody tells you, hey, I know this coin is going to be at this price at this time, that's full of uninformity, in my opinion. You need somebody that's educated in the fact of you can't determine prices. Because if that's, which is the most basic rule of trading, if you don't know that, I don't know what to say, because you can always determine you can determine price movement, but you can never determine the magnitude of a trade or a reversal or a trend. You can never determine magnitude. You can also never determine exact prices, but you can determine price movement. So I'll kind of switch your question up, Dusty, and say, okay, what $10 to $15 coin or whatever, what coin under $20 has the potential to start increasing in price? I'll tell you exactly what coins or which coin. If you guys are a Patreon, I will be releasing my portfolio to those of you that have that tier level. And we'll be talking a little bit more about this specific subject of what coins I'm looking to really profit on in 2018. One of the biggest ones is OMG. This is between 10 to 15. And the reason I like OMG is it kind of goes against what Neo is doing. It kind of goes against what even like Ethereum, right? So Ethereum is trying to do its own thing. Neo is like, if you guys don't know about Neo, Neo is like the Chinese Ethereum, and that's what people kind of stouted as and pouted as. But OMG, in my opinion, is really going to change a lot of things, being the fact that it's using Ethereum. Once again, you guys know my perspective on Ethereum. I love Ethereum, being the fact that a lot of platforms are built on top of Ethereum, which give it a lot of diversity and diversification naturally as an asset class. So it's already diversified as it comes. It's like buy now today and we're already diversified, you know. So that's kind of like their slight edge, their slogan, in my opinion, when I look at their coin and invest in their coin. So OMG is just one of those platforms, one of those programs on their platform, and I really like it, and I'll tell you why. This chart isn't that diluted. Look at this price level. This is since it was released in July. You can see prices have been pretty stable, pretty consistent. I mean, you don't see crazy price movements. Look at this. If we pull up XVG, hey, guys, pay attention. Look, you see these coins? Or you see this graph? Look at this graph. Just take a visual note of this graph. Take a screenshot of it. Do something, but check this out. This is the graph, and then I'm going to show you a different graph, and look at the difference. So look at this. You see prices, you can see volatility, you can see price movements, and then check this out. This is what you don't want to see, at least if you're looking to do something long term, like a value investor would, rather than swing trading it or day trading it. Look at that. Big difference, right? In this example, there's a lot of dilution. It's diluted quite a bit because of the exponential parabolic increase that we saw, which is ridiculous. So one big aspect of that is also because this, you know, for a lot of the time it wasn't really being used and so forth. But even if you do this chart, you can see it's still pretty crazy. Price levels were maintaining itself, and then you just see it shoot up. So it's almost like Bitcoin's graph. So I like OMG. It's one of my favorite coins in my new portfolio that I'm actually rebalancing right now and still redistributing. I like to take some time when I'm planning out my trades, and I like to make sure that my weekly portfolios as well are done very well for my swing trades, and then I make sure my long-term holds are really good as well. And this would be more of a long-term hold for me, being that it doesn't experience much volatility, therefore rendering it useless to be a coin to trade as a day trader or a swing trader. So let's go ahead and take some more requests here. I know we have some super chat donations we want to fulfill here. Brandon H. Crosshairs lag. New equipment yet? Easier to follow and learn without lag. Thank you, Brandon. Well, that $5 was really going to help with that too, man. So we'll have those new equipment, the new equipment all set up for sure by the first week of January, if not earlier. Coach K said, much respect to the sniper. Thank you, Coach K. You know, man, you've been the OG since the beginning, brother. I'm glad to have you, man. Coach K has been with us since we had, what? We used to do our whiteboard live streams with like 10 viewers. He said BCH. Absolutely, brother. We'll do BCH. I was looking at BCH. I think it's a good, I mean, it's kind of low-key right now. It hasn't been moving much. It does seem to be forming a pattern. It did hit, looks like it hit bottom here with RSI, went under 30. If you guys know how to use the RSI, if it's under 30, it means it's oversold, and we're seeing that here. It looks like there may be a pattern forming here. To me, somebody said, what's your opinion on Bitcoin Cash? Bitcoin Cash, in my opinion, there's a lot of ways you can look at Bitcoin Cash. You know, when you look at a coin like Bitcoin Cash, number one is a forked coin. So when you see a coin that's forked, you have to be wary and cautious at the fact that it's got a separate community that is opposed to where that other coin forked from. So like you have Ethereum Classic. If you guys don't know, Ethereum Classic was the actual Ethereum blockchain before Ethereum had a fork and then created Ethereum. And the reason they did that is somebody stole a lot of Ethereum when they first launched in 2013, and then eventually they made a decision to just almost like repeat and release and, you know, just wipe out everything and start over. And some people didn't like that, so they forked into Ethereum Classic. That's always been the classic blockchain. Some people decided to stick with it. What's interesting about what we're seeing here is this is a rounding bottom. If you guys don't know what a rounding bottom is, and I'm really glad that we're looking at this chart, guys, I believe that this is a great buy right now, and I'm really glad you put this in the super chat, Coach K, because check this out, guys. We're gonna pull up the Discord here. If you guys are not on Discord, this is a free F-R-E-E free resource open to you guys. Check this out. Look at a rounding bottom. How does this look? Does this not look identical to this chart that we're looking at here with Bitcoin Cash? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. Look. Let's pull this up a little bit deeper. We'll just take this part of it. You see the downtrend, right? You see the rounding bottom. You see this round out. Round out. Right? Guess what? Does this not look identical, guys? Yes or no? Yes. And then there's a breakout point under the downtrend at the neckline. Guess what? Breakout point at the neckline right under the downtrend. Is this a good buy? In my perspective, heck yes. I'm gonna buy. I'm gonna put that right here along with the other coin that Vertcoin. Awesome find, Coach K. We haven't found this many buys in the live stream in a couple of days. This is awesome. We do these live streams every day, guys, and we do our video in the daytime. I wanted to do the Segwit 2x video, but I was like, let's do Verge, because I put in my trade there. So a rounding bottom is an indicator of a price breakout going positive and ascending in price movement. If you guys don't know how that looks, you guys got to get on Discord, because here's the thing. If you're not educated, guys, you're not going to understand this, and you're going to be beat out by other traders. You guys are not going to know where the breakouts are going to occur, which movement they're going to make, whether it's positive or negative, and that will hinder your trading, hinder your profits, and you'll lose out on a lot of money, guys. Trust me, guys. I started with $100, $100, and I worked my way up and up and up. 300, 600, back down to 300, back down to 100, down to $50, back up to 100, back up to 150, learning, experiencing by myself. Guess what changed everything? When I started, I remember with the first $100, I went from like 600 back down to 50, back down to sometimes less than that, and it would fluctuate between those ranges for months. Until I said, you know what, I'm done. I don't understand this. What the heck am I doing? Let me understand what I'm doing. I went and I seeked out mentors. I seeked out people that could help me. How did I seek them out? I just talked about what I was doing all the time until somebody said, oh, I know what I'm doing. I know what you're doing here. I've done that before. Oh, really? How have you done? I'm doing very well. Could you teach me something? Well, check this out. You see this? This is called the RSI. It stands for the Relative Strength Index. This determines whether a coin is overbought or oversold. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Well, guess what? I still use the RSI today in cryptocurrency. How? I seeked out a community. I seeked out a mentor. For me, it was one individual, couple individuals actually now. For you guys, it's a community. I didn't have a community. Guess why I started this channel? And yes, I started it, but I don't run it. We have a whole admin team. We have a moderation team of amazing individuals that have sold out to this vision just as much as I have. And you guys will meet them tonight at the Night Owl if you guys are going to be there. It's Patreons only. And all you got to do is go to our Discord, and you go to this section, by the way. If you guys, I know a lot of you guys are already there. You go here, Patreon exclusive. We already got a ton of people there. And we're going to be doing it in Patreon Voice 1 or 2, one of these. We'll announce it at the end of this live stream. But we're going to be doing a Night Owl. You guys can come in and talk. to me and talk to the admin team, the mod team, ask us questions, or you can just listen in and gain the knowledge, gain the experience, gain the wealth, so that you guys aren't left out. The goal is to not be left out. The goal is to be in the know. The goal is to know what's happening within the community. I was listening to a podcast by this individual who had a very successful ICO called EOS, and you guys know about EOS, and he talked about how he started trading. He would join a ton of different groups on Telegram and all of these different places, and he would literally just stay in the know to know when the news broke out. Before the press and the news got it, he would know about it, trade against it, bam, done deal, profits made. Why? Because it's not all about technical analysis, it's also about fundamental analysis. How do you do fundamental analysis? You have to be a part of the community. You have to know the inside game. You have to know what's happening within the company, what's happening within the community that's eventually going to leak out into the press and the news. And you guys have heard this before. And write this down. Buy at the hype, sell at the news. Done deal. So you guys want to know, what's hype right now? You want to know what's hype right now that's not in the news? I'll tell you what's hype. Ripple being on Coinbase. You guys have heard about that, right? People are hyping it up. Oh, Ripple's going to be on Coinbase. Hey, dude, Ripple's going to be on Coinbase. People are saying that, right? Well, it doesn't hurt to make a trade against it. Whether it's true or not, it doesn't hurt to make a trade against it. Now you want to set up your stop losses, you want to be safe with your investment, you want to make sure you have your risk management set up, your assets allocated properly, and you want to have a specific amount diversified towards that asset and that investment. However, it doesn't hurt to put a small trade there. It doesn't hurt to put 1% in. Why? Because you heard the hype, and then you'll sell at the news, if anything, or just hold long term. You know, what I like about Ripple is you see consistent price movements. You see consistent patterns. Stays at 15 to 25 cents, 30 cents. You see it within that pattern. That's always a good thing for a coin. So if you guys are not on Discord, this is a free resource. It's on your mobile. It's on your desktop. It's on your web version. There's a link in the description below, or you can just look at the chat. I know we got a ton of awesome moderators, some great teammates here to help you guys. So let's go ahead and take some more super chat questions here. I think we looked at BCH just now. Yes, so this is Bitcoin Cash. I know I wanted to buy some, so let me make sure I have that. Did I put that here? Yes, I'm going to buy some Bitcoin Cash. We see a rounding bottom indicator of a trend reversal, and that's going to be great. We'll see what happens. Shout out to a couple different people here, guys. I do want to say shout out to a lot of you guys. Wow. Shout out to Hugo Valverde, thank you so much, becoming a new Patreon. Shout out to Zach Rice, thank you so much, Zach. Shout out to Harrison Zia, thank you so much, Harrison, can't wait to meet you. Shout out to Chipmunk, that's a funny one. And then shout out to Edna, thank you so much, Edna, for becoming a new Patreon on our channel. That's definitely helping to contribute towards the future development and the future plans for this channel, and what we plan to do in terms of increasing this channel to the maximum output, to provide the best education possible in a free manner that's accessible to all. So thank you so much for that. Let's go ahead and finish up these requests here. So John Waters said, will it drop anytime soon? I don't know what you're talking about, John. If you were talking about Bitcoin, here's my perspective on Bitcoin. Obviously, we're in a speculative market, which means that all value is based upon speculation. What does that mean? Oh, well, Naeem, what does speculation value mean? Well, why don't you just Google it? So let's go ahead and Google it together. Speculation, if you guys want to know how Naeem Googles, you can watch this right now. Speculation value. As you can see, in finance, speculation is also the practice of engaging in risky financial transactions. By the way, this is the most risky market in the world right now, in my humble but accurate opinion. This is the most risky market. In an attempt to profit from short-term fluctuations in the market value of a tradable financial instrument, rather than attempting to profit from the underlying financial attributes embodied in the instrument, such as capital gains. What does that mean? Here's what this means, guys, in layman's terms. Speculation value is not the intrinsic value of an item, a commodity, an asset, an equity, whatever it is. It's not the actual value. It's not the tangible value. It's not the marketable value. It's not the mechanical value. It's not the value of whatever the item is based upon its limited resource or the limited amount or its technicalities or utility or its secure. It's all based upon this is a new technology. We don't know how much this is worth, but let's hype and hype and hype. You guys ever heard the song, Hype It Up? That's what this is. Hype it up. And you're just hyping this up. You're hyping it up. You're hyping it up. You're hyping it up. And at one point, this is what a bubble is, guys. It crashes. Why does it crash? Because now all the hype is gone. It goes to speculative value. Why? Because supply and demand. Well, guess what? You may ask, well, when is this bubble going to pop? Is it bad that it's a bubble? No, bubbles are good things. When did they ever teach you in high school or college that bubbles are bad? Nobody ever taught that. It's just it has a negative connotation attached to it. However, a bubble is a good thing, in my humble but accurate opinion. So why is it a good thing? Because you can make a lot of money, number one. If you do it right, you're educated about it. So you better get educated about it now rather than later. And we're going to talk about that tonight in the Night Owl. So get educated now rather than later. Once you're educated about it and you understand it, you can play the market, but you got to be very careful. How do you ensure that you're careful? You manage your risk. You asset allocate. What does that mean? You allocate and diversify. You have multiple different holdings of different coins, different places, different everything. So when is this going to pop? Well, how big was the gold bubble? Let's type that in. Over $7 trillion, just to give you food for thought. How big was the .com bubble? Let's see the exact amount. The .com bubble was at around, let's see here. It looks like the .com bubble was 1.755 trillion. So it wasn't 7 trillion. It was, I'm sorry. The market value of gold right now is at 7 trillion. The .com bubble, well, this is they lose 1.75 trillion. So what's the exact amount of the .com bubble? Does anybody know? I think it was 10 trillion. I'm pretty sure it was 10 trillion. If it's not 10 trillion, then it was around there. Let's type in trillion. I'm sure it'll pop up. The stock market downturn in 2000 caused a loss of 5 trillion. So it caused a loss of 5 trillion. So it was over 5 trillion because it caused a loss of 5 trillion. And how did that happen? It lasted about 3 years, from I think 97 to 2000, and it was all hype, and bam, crashed. Well, here's the cool part about it. If you would have bought an Amazon stock in the .com bubble at the peak of the bubble and still held on to it today, you would be way overvalued. You'd have a lot more money than you would have had back then. So it's not always a bad thing. It's not always a good thing. But here's the thing. There was a tulip bubble back in the 19th century. I think that was the 19th century, or it may have been, it was early on. There was a tulip bubble that never went back up. So there's different types of bubbles. You have to understand this. That's what we talk about in the Night Owl. That's what we talk about in the Discord. That's what we talk about in a lot of areas of our community. So if you guys aren't on our Discord, the link is in the description below. It's a free resource open to you guys. We're going to be doing a Night Owl tonight for Patreons only. So that means you guys can actually come in and chat with us, ask questions one-on-one with your voice chat. It's almost like Skype phone, but this is completely encrypted and secure, and it's on the cloud. So everything is good with Discord. If you guys know about Discord, if you guys know what I'm talking about, we have this whole community open for you guys. You guys can talk about any coins. If you have questions, basic questions, you guys can ask that in any one of these topics. We also have little night owls for the public sometimes, because we do our live streams every night. So with that being said, guys, we're going to start heading over to the Night Owl in just a second. I am going to take a couple more requests here. I know we have some super chat requests here. If you guys want the rest of your requests through YouTube, feel free to use the super chat. There's just so many people on the YouTube comment box that it's hard to keep track. Somebody said, what's red and smells like blue paint? I don't know, Orange. Maybe we can Google that. I don't feel like Googling that, but I guess that was a joke. What's red and smells like? What do you guys think? How about that? We'll ask the whole chat. What's red and smells whatever. Shout out to Don Stoffer for becoming a new Patreon. Thank you, Don. Shout out to Richard Ramos, just became a new Patreon. I look forward to seeing all of you guys tonight. We're going to talk about the future development along with our admin and moderator team. Shout out to Zach Rice as well. Thank you so much, Zach. And then Edna Pina, I think we gave the shout out. Thank you so much for your patronage here at the Snipers Tube community channel here. Let's go ahead and finish these requests off here on Discord. If you guys want to take some requests on Discord, you guys are more than welcome to. We have a ton of different people requesting stuff on Discord right now. Let's go ahead and look at what we've got here. Looks like we've got a request right here. Let's go ahead and pull this up. I'm going to go ahead and change these indicators. Let's go ahead and look at what we've got here. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll take a request here from the request tab here, and if you're on our Discord, you guys can actually request for yourself. Let's see what people are saying. Wow, we got a ton of requests, guys. Sorry that we can't go through all of this. I mean, that's why we do these exclusive night owls and stuff, to at least get to, you know, the people that really want their questions answered. Somebody said TRX. Somebody says there's a clear cup and handle. That's awesome. I just can't pull up TRX, and I don't like to use the Binance one because my computer is really laggy. Once I get my new equipment, that will come soon. We just got the new mic. If you guys don't know, we got the blue mic. Hello. And hopefully that has helped out a little bit with these live streams. Let's see. People are saying ETH forming a round bottom. I can check on that. How about we check on ETH really quick? Is ETH forming a rounding bottom? If it is, that means it's going to indicate a reversal. I don't think, I mean, I would expect it to at this point because the prices are still pretty high for ETH, but let's go ahead and see. That's not a rounding bottom, but you know what that is? That is a cup and handle. So check this out, guys. Beautiful catch. So this is almost like a rounding bottom, but it's different. And I'll show you guys how it's different. So this is where expertise comes in. This is where a little bit more of the intuition from the experience comes in. This is not something I expect all of you guys to have right away, but I definitely expect you guys to have this over 6 months minimum. It took me about a year to really get things down, but I think with this sped up process, because we have this community, this Discord now, you guys can speed this process up a lot more than it took me when I started trading. But what I'll tell you about this right now, if we want to pull up the cup and handle, so not only are we doing the night owl on our Discord, but this is also a place that you guys can just utilize on an everyday basis while you're at work, while you're with your family, on your phone, while you're with your kids. You guys can just look at charts, know where, you know, understand this, learn, teach for yourself, learn for yourself, ask questions. But if you look here, pretty much the difference between a rounding bottom and a cup and handle. Why don't we talk about that? So what you're seeing here, the rounding bottom is first followed, well, it's the context of it starts with a downtrend, right? So you look at a cup and handle, and a cup and handle starts with an uptrend versus this rounding bottom that forms with a downtrend. And that's why I already knew before I even looked at the chart. I was like, well, I don't think there's a rounding bottom for Ethereum because this has been an upward pattern. So when you look at the actual chart here, what you can see is you see this initial upward pattern, and this is where the cup and handle forms. So this is called a handle right over here. This is a handle. So let's go ahead and I'll go back and forth on this chart so you guys can see it on our Discord. But if you guys, most of you are on our Discord, so you guys can just look at this for yourself when you're trading. But this is a cup and handle. So first the handle is on top. I don't think it's well, you see it a little bit on the Discord. You see on the right hand side it says handle, but the handle is really something that actually goes from the whole top. And then once you see this handle form, you want to make sure there's some depth to it. So obviously we see this a huge amount of depth. I mean, we saw this huge price decrease here, this huge red candle, and then you see this base form, kind of like how the rounding bottom has. You see this uptrend, and then this is where things get a little feisty. So on top of the handle is where you want to see something called breakout. Breakout is where you confirm that the price is breaking out. I already have a holding in Ripple. I've had that. If you guys are a Patreon, you guys know I'm alerted you guys with that. So this is kind of how this is supposed to turn out. This is a indicator of a price movement going upwards as long as we see this breakout occur. And the way for the breakout to show is we need to see a little bit of red candles form. So once this starts going up, you want to see a little bit of consolidation here. So this pattern starts heading a little bit downwards, and then it pops up. Now, what's really cool about this, not only is it forming a cup and handle, guys, this is where trading gets a little bit more advanced, but this is how you make a lot of money. So not only are you seeing this cup and handle form, you also see it above the EMA line, bouncing off of the EMA line completely far away from it, which shows a huge price indication that money is going up. Prices are going up. not only that, RSI is still under 70, so you're using all these indicators, and I guarantee if we were to pull up the MACD, it would be in great levels, the Fibonacci as well. And because of all of these indications, you could, as a swing trader, you could determine, okay, this just bounced off of the EMA, it's over the EMA, let me make a buy. And then you ride this out, and then you set your parameters on where you want to buy and sell. So hopefully that helped out a little bit. We're going to be heading over to our Night Owl, guys. I think we took enough requests. I know we don't, we don't take every request, and I'm sorry. I try my best to take the super chat requests first. I try my best to, help with the Patreons, but that's what we're doing this Night Owl for. We're not going to take requests in the Night Owl. We'll take questions. I get tired of the charts at the Night Owl. I like to talk more about what you guys want to talk about. So I look forward to seeing you guys there. We're going to get really deep tonight. We're going to talk about some great things. If you're not on Discord, the link is in the description below. Feel free to join. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much all for tuning in to our nightly live stream here at Snipers Tube, talking about all things crypto, taking in requests, engaging and interacting. Our equipment's going to be way higher, way better. There's going to be way more interaction soon, guys. What we're going to do is actually have you guys, in the chat. I can read. I'm going to have a whole separate screen to read comments and chats. And guys, for those of you that are Patreons, thank you so much. That's why we have this new microphone. That's why things are getting a lot better, and I really appreciate that. So I can't wait to meet some of you guys tonight. To give a couple last shout-outs to some new Patreons here. Shout out to Ian Holstein. Shout out to Sunny Dean. You guys have made the decision to invest in yourself and become a Patreon and learn and understand what it really means to be part of this cryptocurrency market and how much it can change your life like it did for me. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. And like always, guys, you know how we end it. Snipers out.